In this video section, I am going to discuss about one of the viral finfish disease, about causative agent, histopathological views, and its remedial measures. Let's see about viral finfish disease, that is about lymphocystis disease or lymphocystosis. So lymphocystis disease, that is LZD in fishes, is caused by an agent called lymphocytis disease virus. Lymphocytis disease virus, it is a chronic and benign virus. So it is a chronic disease of mainly freshwater and marine fishes caused by an infection with an iridovirus known as lymphocystis virus or lymphocystis disease virus. It is a member of the family Iridoviridae. So iridovirus have been implicated as the causes of severe disease, mortality and economic loss in farmed fish and ornamental fish in white. So a lot of genera are there: ranavirus, iridovirus, lymphocystis virus. These genera include structurally related viruses, all of them composed of similar protein units. Here the lymphocystis disease is of DNA type, DNA viruses with particles measuring 200 nanometer and making them among the largest of the Iridoviridae family. So it is a common and benign infection by an iridovirus that results in hypertrophied cells, and typically we can note the infection in the case of skin and fin of fishes. Here you can see in this picture enlarged viral particles showing typical morphology of iridoviruses. Now let's see about the host range. So a lot of fishes are susceptible to this disease. Anyway, the lymphocystis occurs in many marine and some freshwater fish families, including herring, smelt, sea bass, flounder, snappers, perch, etc. Besides that, the listed species here, the Clupea, Sargus, Sebastus species, Amphiprion, Pomacanthus are some of the most susceptible species of this infection. If we say about the pathogenesis, the virus become active within 4 days, 3 to 4 days, and after when the virus attack, the cells become enlarged. That is means a hypertrophied condition. So when the cell become enlarged, we can observe the movement of the cellular inclusions from the central portion to the peripheral region. After that, the cell leads into a hypertrophied condition. It will become burst. So these are the effects of pathogenesis. So lymphocystis virus mainly, as I said, it affects the cytoplasm of fibroblastic cells of the interstitial connective tissue. So what is fibroblastic cells? Means fibroblasts are the common cell in connective tissues that secrete collagen proteins used to maintain structural framework for many tissues. That is the property of that is the function of fibroblastic cells. So the virus infected cells become enlarged compared to the normal size and comes to a stage of hypertrophied condition. So and lose their capacity for division. So what is hypertrophy? Means it is an enlargement or abnormal overgrowth of muscle cells. So muscle abnormally become thick. As a result, shortening of breath problems may come, then fatty condition may suffer. These are some of the problems of hypertrophied condition. Here you can see giant type of, that is hypertrophied lymphoma cells with a lot of cytoplasmic inclusion bodies around the nuclei. It is clearly visible in this picture. And here you can see the skin, that is caudal fin portion affected by the virus, eroded portions of caudal fin. And here you can see the nodules or wart-like appearance. So what is nodules and wart-like appearance, I will tell you. So these are infected cells. Here you can see the mainly it attacked the cytoplasmic portion. So here you can note down the picture. So as a result of infection, the cells become roundish oval. We can observe a clear nucleus along with a dark nucleus. Enlarged dark nucleus also can note. So the development period may vary between the species. If you see in the case of Acerna cernoi, the infection, the development period is of 9 days, and about Schizostidion it is about 2 weeks. After that, the lymphocystic cells will burst. That is so they are having difference. So here you can see a lot of viral particles that are scattered in the cytoplasm. This okay. Then when we talk about the mode of transmission, horizontal contact and waterborne transmission. Through these ways, these two ways are appear to be the principal mechanism for lymphocystis virus spread, and this is reinforced by proliferation of the problem under intensive culture conditions. In addition to this high population density and external trauma also enhance the transmission rate. In addition to these external surfaces, including the gills, also appear to be the chief portal of epidermal entry. In addition to this, the oral route seem to not to be involved, but there is no evidence of vertical transmission. So the way mainly through horizontal, that means, and waterborne transmission. When we talk about the clinical signs, the most obvious sign associated with lymphocystis are white, occasionally pale pink, like wart. Wart means fleshy bump on the skin or mucous membrane. It is due to the attack of virus. And we can see some nodule like raspberries. I will show you in the picture. That is it is amphiprion percula, showing the white or occasionally pale pink type. It is known as paraffin wax like nodules. So what are nodules? If you check, the nodules are actually clustered groups of greatly enlarged infected cells. We can known as fibroblast. Fibroblast already explained. These are connective tissues, structural framework and all, which are part of the connective tissue in the fishes. So nodules are the clustered group, enlarged clustered group of fibroblastic cells that we can it will appear in the skin portion of fishes. And these are like paraffin wax like nodules or growth over the skin and fins, we can see. This type of growth also contains some granular like particles, and some may also shows vascularization. Vascularization are the extension of blood capillaries into the tissue grows, and the tissue will affect. So this presence of the granular inclusions, it is an important for distinguishing the lymphocystis disease from other type of disease. For example, from carpox disease. Carpox disease, it is caused by another type of herpes virus. So the wax-like appearance, it is also an important feature which distinguishes lymphocystis from a fungal type of skin growth. Fungal mainly we can say mycotic type of infection. That is the difference. So as I already said, it is the main clinical signs are white, occasionally pale red, pale pink, paraffin like nodules covering the skin and fins of the sick fish. Some particulate inclusions may be observed in the lymphoma lesion. At maturity, when it becomes maturity, the lesions are irregularly elevated masses of pebbled texture we can also observe. So the color is light cream to grayish but covering epithelial tissue maybe not normally pigmented. So vascularity sometimes gives large clusters of cells a reddish nature. Okay, here you can see considerable variation of this nature may occur in size, location and distribution of the masses. So in addition to this, infected cells may also occur singly. Although the infection is rarely associated with overt disease, mortalities can also occur under culture conditions, may be possibly due to impaired gill, swimming or feeding capability with mechanically intrusive lesions. So when we talk about the histopathology, I already said the one notable obvious sign, it is about the hypertrophied fibroblast. So light microscopy of tissue sections. Here you can see light microscopy of tissue sections of lymphoma reveal that the particulate lesions are virus-induced giant cells. Here you can see some giant type of cells of connective tissue origin, and it is enveloped with a thick capsule. So the distinctive capsule is become enlarged and centrally located nucleus. Here you can see centrally located nucleus and nucleolus, and lot of cytoplasmic inclusions are unique of this particular disease. This nature we cannot observe. This type of cell alterations cannot occur with the carpox herpes virus infections. In addition, there may be some eosinophilic reticulate inclusion bodies. Also we can, here you can see eosinophilic retino, that is reticulate inclusion bodies in the cytoplasm of giant cells also we can notice. Okay. So when we talk about the prophylaxis and therapy, as with the other type of diseases, we should make sure about the water quality, good water quality and husbandry. Practices as a whole are optimal. Being careful with handling, avoid overcrowding and reducing or eliminating unnecessary stresses. Unnecessary stresses may include the parasites that may result in physical trauma. This all help to reduce the potential for infection and spread. Anyway, at present there is no known method of therapy for immunization, but there lies on vaccine is there. Aquavac Iridovi, it is one of the available vaccine.